Thank y'all so much for being here and using your most valuable resource with me, which is your time. I am so, so grateful for this moment, and I'm so thankful to see people that I love in the audience. How many people are here because they want to get paid to speak? All right. How many people have already been paid to speak? Okay, cool. So Speaking for Profit University started during the pandemic, y'all. Believe it or not. COVID-19 hit. Kiera and I were in Alabama visiting our niece, and we got on the last flight out to the Bay Area. When we got back, everything was available but toilet tissue. Do y'all remember that? I was extremely confused because why didn't they buy soap? But that's a whole nother thing to think about. So we got back, and I had a bunch of speaking gigs that were lined up that year, and I was thankful because I actually had contracts set up to protect my time. And that was one of the moments when I realized that a lot of folks like you didn't have that set up, right? I was talking to people, and they were like, you know what? I got a speaking gig coming up, but it got canceled. I'm not going to get paid. I at least got paid 50% because I had a clause in there that said, if an act of God happens, you still got to run me my check, right? And what was the act of God? COVID. So for our conference, summit, event, we haven't thought what to call it. We're just going to call it S for P Live. It's really about manifesting your pathway to abundance. And I feel that COVID was a great opportunity for that because it slowed me down. Now, it was also a sad time because we lost so many people, but it was a moment where we had a pathway open for abundance. So manifesting abundant pathways, right? That's the intention that we're setting this morning for ourselves. When we think about an abundant pathway, another thing that I often think about is the opportunity to go to a historically Black college. Anybody else went to HBCU? I see my DU right here. Yes, yes, yes. I met Alafia there. Alafia actually used to twist my first set of locks. Do you remember that? And I had one that would stick up and we could not get it down. But that was a great opportunity to meet amazing people. But during that time, Hurricane Katrina hit my university, right? So it was another moment to stand still. And when we came back to campus, we literally had to rebuild it, y'all. Like, we was knocking down walls. I caught bronchitis. That's a whole nother story. Might have to sue DU one day. This is being recorded. Yes, I did catch bronchitis from y'all. But it was a great opportunity once we got back in the city to see what does a rebuild process look like. And the abundance that came during that time, to be honest with you, was from FEMA money. And I remember getting that money and investing and supporting my family and helping one another. So sometimes when our lows are here, we're able to manifest some beautiful moments in our lives. So I want you all to think, when have you manifested an abundant pathway for yourself, right? And I'm going to share with you how that showed up for me. So one way that shows up for me is by consistently speaking from the overflow. So I'm big on this, and wifey kind of gets on me about being the positivity police. But when I hear negative things, it makes me cringe, right? So when you like, oh, move that, it's going to fall over. I'm like, yeah, it is now because you said it, right? So I'm big on, how do I speak from the overflow? How do I consistently speak abundantly to myself? Sometimes that's affirmations. Sometimes that's waking up in the morning and being quiet and just speaking to my ancestors and letting them speak into me. But when we speak negatively about money or abundance or about freedom or about our birthright, what we're doing is we're speaking a negative spell into ourselves. So the least we can do is speak good things into ourselves. So I'm not trying to be the woo-woo police. I don't want y'all to go home and just start doing affirmations every day if that's not your thing. But when you do start to talk negative to yourself, call yourself things that are not consistent with you being godly, with you being abundant, with you being a manifester, I want you to stop, pause, and just recenter and sit in the moment and say, why am I thinking of myself that way? Because oftentimes when it comes to money or abundance, what we do is we blame the world. Oh, it's because a white man got the job. It's because I'm trans. It's because I'm Black. But oftentimes we are actually the ones who are telling ourselves a lot of these negative things. So it's important that we shower ourselves with that. The other thing is community. So many people who are here today, I've only seen y'all in Zoom boxes. Y'all are so much better in person. I am enjoying seeing the other half of you and seeing your hands and your movement and the way that you stand. So when I started Speaking for Profit University, that's what it was for. I know there's a lot of coaches that do it for money. Money was cool. That was great. That's what I share with y'all on the internet, right? Because I got to give you the little bit of something so I can give you the medicine when you actually join us. Because people are attracted to that. But really what we're doing here is we're building community for a lifetime. If you have a community who is abundant and opening up those pathways, they're going to be willing to do that with you consistently, right? I want to shout out Alafia because the motivation to move to Georgia was even more beautiful because I knew you were coming. I knew I would have community here. And I know you're about to leave. I ain't gonna put you out. But that motivates me to want to leave the country, right? So when we're able to see possibility models, it just builds beautiful things in our lives and our journeys. Plant the seed and let it be. Anybody can resonate with that? Do y'all be messing with y'all seeds after y'all plant them? I be doing that. I plant it. I be like, you ain't grew yet. 2 minutes later, put a little water. Okay, you better flourish now. So we put things out there and we want them, we have to be patient. One of the things that I wanted to do was an in-person event for a long time. You could ask BX. I've been talking about this since the pandemic. I was like, when are they gonna let us back outside? I guess we all gonna have to wear masks. How are we gonna speak with masks on? We was trying to figure it out. And it just kept being delayed. And that was when I was in California. But then Atlanta opened up a great opportunity. I actually came to this studio last year, which was really, really powerful. And shouts out to David Shantz. He's the owner of this space, and Donnie Wiggins. They have a podcast that they do here called the Social Proof Podcast. Go on and write that in your notes because we gave y'all fancy notebooks. I know y'all got them. And I met David here, and I was like, this is the perfect space to do my event. Like, it all came together. But a year later, we're here and we're able to do it. So I just want you all to know that when you plant your seeds, you have to be patient with them. You can't be the person who's always looking for the growth and always looking for the harvest, but not looking for the time to let it actually sit, still, and be there. My intention for today, y'all, is to create a space where, number one, y'all are captivated as beautiful as y'all are. So thank you for showing up, all on brand, some more casual, some more fancy. I appreciate that. My intention for today also is to open up a pathway of abundance, not just for me, but for generations that are coming after me. And to be honest with you, for generations that have already left. I consider myself a generational healer. And in order to do that work, I got to show respect to my ancestors and the folks that have brought me here. So I'm doing the healing work for my mama. I'm doing the healing work for my grandma, for my auntie Dorothy, who used to always tell me when I came in the room and I didn't hug her, girl, you ain't got no sense. I'm doing it all for them, right? Yes, she did tell me, and she probably tell me in my sleep all the time.